We are going to review how to do some decorative nebula galaxy backgrounds for your space, so it's not boring space. With this a star field, but you have some interesting things to look at off in the distance. They're not intended to be like a gaseous cloud that you fly through, although some people do make their ships fly through them. It looks a little misty, like right here. This guy's about to fly through his. Sort of cloudy. There we go. So you can do that if you do it right, but they're not intended to be like a major feature. They're just background aesthetic stuff so to make your space look more, creative and artistic. Here's an example. So I've pre-prepared some for you. They're all ready to use. You just have to go into the student work folder inside of the home folder. I go to the student lessons folder, and inside of there is a space textures folder that has all of them in there, and they're basically just textures. They do this kind of stuff a lot in video games, backgrounds, and movies and stuff like that. So it's a quick, easy way to kind of spice up your space. All right, so let's go ahead and make one. I think I'll just copy some of this stuff, so I don't have to make it all again. So we're just going to go to a new file. Okay, and paste that in. See if that's working. Okay, and so let's put one planet in there just so you have something to see. We'll take that planet. Alright, that came with a million textures because it has a million textures. Let's get rid of all this. So here we have Jupiter. There's the big eye of Jupiter. And there's our space. So how would we do this project with some aesthetic background stuff? You just take planes, really, and you don't want to make them too gigantor, but you flip them on the other side, down there on the P, 90 degrees. And you kind of like just box in your space. It doesn't have to be a perfect box. You can go at angles and stuff like that. But you don't want your planets to be passing through these, so this needs to be outside of it, further away than the planets are, and your sun. And what you do is you make a new material. You double click on the new material. You go to color. You go to the button over here. And you go get the one that says color on it, and you hit open. You turn off reflectance, and you go to, sorry, I was fixing my sound, alpha, and turn that on, and where it says texture again, you go over to the button and click on that, and you go get the one that has grayscale, the same version. Sometimes it says gray in the name, sometimes it says alpha. I was a little inconsistent with naming them. So color goes to color, grayscale or alpha goes to the alpha channel. And that'll mask off all the dark stuff and only show you the light stuff. And then you drag that onto your plane, and then you go ahead and take a look-see to see how it looks. Now some you can make small like this, and others you can make, really big. The resolution of those isn't so perfect that you can make them too big, but it's not bad. All right, so let's make another one. So you double click on your sphere. Well, first of all, you go create new material. Should have said that. and then you double click on the white sphere, you go to color, there's a texture area for most of these options, and that has a button over here. It also has the ability to do kind of like in-game or in software, like pre-built stuff. I didn't mean to say game. You go ahead, click on this button, and then you use your secret jitsu to go get another one. I want to say, use this one. I need the color version though. Yes, and then I need to get the alpha version. Now, the reason we're using an alpha with this is so that we don't end up defining the edge. Anything that will define the edge, like grayscale, might screw this up and make it look like a poster flying in space rather than a nebula off in the distance. So this one might not be very good. Let's go look at it. You can see it masks off most of the dark stuff. So one thing you can do before I make another one is you can double down on these. You can double up the textures because there's built-in transparency, so you can pile them on top of each other and get like custom results. And that one looks pretty good. All right, let's make an actual second one. So you make a plane, and you flip it onto its side, and you stretch it out. We can rotate it. It doesn't have to be perfectly boxed in, so you can put stuff at an angle. Just be aware that if it catches sunlight in a weird way, it may be shadowed. And then we'll make our last one for today: color, texture, button. We'll use space eye. This one's really cool. And we'll go turn off, so you uncheck reflectance. We don't want a reflection on it. And then we go to alpha, turn it on with the check mark, go to the button, and go get the one that is grayscale. You can make these in Photoshop really easy. Just take one picture, maybe you go grab a Hubble telescope picture on the internet or the Webb telescope, and they're on like NASA websites and stuff. And then you take that into Photoshop and basically save one version as a TIFF, and then save the other version as a grayscale of the same thing and rename it, and then you got your easy, fast textures that you can throw on stuff. So there's my space eye. Okay, there you go. I don't have anything else to throw in there. So that is how to create some aesthetic background stuff to spice up your space. And you can also take lights and push them into those little nebula galaxies. Some people are like, what's a nebula? A nebula is a partially formed galaxy, or a galaxy that exploded or combined with another one. They collided. You can go to the light here and just go give it a lens. I'll do like kind of a corny Cinema 4D lens. Too big, see, and if it's behind everything, it'll gray it out. So what you usually want to do with some lights, not all, is go to no illumination, and if the lighting is a problem. And then also remember, under your lens you have visibility and scale, so you can scale that back and kind of improve it that way. Anyways, decorate your space, make it look cool. Kind of like what you see here, and then we will begin to animate through this space very soon after we finish our spaceships and our UFO.